Hi guys, how are you doing today? Thought I'd do another video on social anxiety and what causes it. We've talked a little bit about triggers and how they affect you, um, regarding people out there who fear the noise and the anxiety of fearing what they might feel. Say for example, if you fear um, loud music or the neighbours or screaming kids, then you'll know this video is for you guys. So okay, get comfortable and we'll have a little chat. Over the last few years I've suffered from depression myself, so I know what I'm talking about. I've seen the therapists, I've been to group meetings and one-to-one CBT, which I'm still going to now. I've been on the depressants, everything from statins, you name it, and all that does, excuse these flies, living in the countryside, you see. And you know, if you're feeling that the fear of noise, the fear of what could happen is it can wear you down as well as leave you drained. And obviously the only way that you're going to cure that is get into a quiet area. That's the goal, to live in a quiet area. Fortunately today there's hardly anybody here. There's just hear the birds. There's an odd child in the background, but you can hardly hear her at all. Very peaceful, very nice. It's been the royal wedding today, so I suppose everyone's been watching that. But back to the fear of noise, the fear of what you might return into when you come home from work, fear that neighbours are going to have a party, they're going to have a loud barbecues, noisy kids, loud exhausts, and people don't care anymore. You have to realise that we're living in a selfish society where what goes for them isn't exactly what goes for you. And being around people like that isn't going to be healthy for you or your mind. So we've talked about how we can cope with it at the time. But you know, I've talked about a little bit about the circle, about your anxiety starts here. What feeds the anxiety? That's another subject. What feeds your anxiety? So let's, for example, alcohol, caffeine, they can feed it because it brings up, makes you more anxious. But um, to cope with it, you need to detach yourself from it, pull yourself away from it if you can. Use your imagination and use that as a weapon against it, because there are certain things, if the more you think about it, the more you zone in on it, and the more you zone in on it, the more worse it's going to get. So, and these people don't deserve to have you as friends, and they don't, you know, they're just selfish people that don't respect your quiet space. They just got families, and they have absolutely no business being around decent people like yourself, you know. And I've been there. I've moved like loads of times, just couldn't cope, and I'm going to move again. When I do move, I'll be right up in the dales, and I'll have absolutely no one around me. That's going to be the end game. Should be sooner than later. I'd like to invite all you guys around, all my fellow YouTubers, and we can all just enjoy the peace and quiet and away from all the idiots. But back to the full circle, the dealing with the stress. You know, I've been in a situation where let's say last Thursday, I had the guy here who was doing work, and I felt like I had to be there to help. But then the guilt of it made me feel depressed. And because it was a break from my routine, because we've all got a routine, especially people with anxiety, we have our routines. And you tend to sleep more, you tend to become more tired, because the more things that get you down, the more it makes you feel depressed. And also, if you're tired, then your anxiety, fatigue feeds anxiety. There's an example. Whenever I go for a trip abroad and I go to an airport and I want to get in an airplane, and I hate security, I can't stand it. They make me feel like a terrorist, and I'm not. But that feeds my anxiety, and it goes round and round and round. So I'm in a bad frame of mind, and that's something that I just can't stand. That I have got better over the years. Facing your fear is another thing. Go out there and just say, right, I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm gonna, I'm gonna face it. I'm not gonna let it overtake my life, you know. But the ultimate goal is just to move away, get that shell around you, get that force field, and just, detach yourself away from these loud things. It's a bit like intimidation. If you fear someone's big and bad and is going to start on you, back away from those people. Keep away from them. Walk the other side of the road. Just but it is training yourself to deal with a situation just enough to get by. But you need to remember that you're not alone. There's so many of us out there who crave the peace, the quiet, to be amongst nature, to listen to, and your mind gets very clouded, especially the summertime. The noise builds in, the fear of noise, the fear of, if I go out of my house, what am I going to come back to? Is it going to be pies? Is it going to be barbecues? Am I going to be sat inside the house, get more and more like this? And that's the thing. So remember what I said last time, to turn it down. Turn the volume down in your head. Put a bubble over yourself. Over your, like a protective imaginary bubble, but try just to get away from that situation if you can, and then come back. But I know some people are like stuck where they are and it's difficult to move. You might be in a hotel now where you can hear the noise, the next door, the road, the traffic noise, but try to send yourself off to a place that is where you want to be, that's in the middle of nowhere, and try and push these arrogant people away. Just and eventually, if you keep watching this channel, we will get through, and I really hope that you all find peace, because there is very little peace in this world. We're getting more and more overcrowded. There's the building now, they're building so many houses right next door to each other that it's getting virtually impossible now not to walk down the street without seeing someone. There's so much traffic on the roads, particularly in suburban areas, and really, whenever you move and you have an anxiety, you have to look at your area and where you want to be. You're better off with a smaller, tiny place that's quiet than a large house that you've got loads of neighbours around you. Because I've had all of it. I've had the bigger house, the and the 4 en suites and this, that, and the other. It didn't make me happy. It doesn't. And you can have everything that you want. You can have 3 TVs, you can have 2 cars, you can have 4 holidays a year, but you have to come back to that unhappy situation. And then what a lot of people do is, we'll talk about drink. They drink to try and dull the noise, and that works temporarily, but it can aggravate the situation, make it worse again, feeding the anxiety. So having lots of things in your life is a distraction, but it won't make you happy. I've been there. In the end, I've seen so many people who've just sold up and moved out of these big houses, and they've just gone somewhere quiet, and they can think. Take the monks, for example. I mean, they've got nothing, but they're in the quietest monastery. Personally, I'd like to live in a lighthouse. That would be pretty good. Or a fire station, right up in the mountains or something. But that's just me, I mean, obviously you have to go where the work is, and the work is generally located in suburban areas, and that's something that, like, unfortunately we all have to deal with. But try and look at your situation and look at it for the future. Maybe right now you're stuck in it, but that's not going to last for long. Guarantee you that will not last. You will pull away from these people. And the problem is when people are used to noise, that's what they're used to. And if you're on your own or a quiet couple, you'll zone in on that, you know, and you need to be out of that situation completely. Otherwise, it'll destroy you, you know, and you won't have any kind of life. You were watching this video now. I know your life is, you probably won't have a life because of the noise. And I've been through it. See my previous videos. I know what it's like. I've been to the counsellors, I've been to the doctors, and there's only so much they can do. There's only so much they can advise you on. But in the end, you know, you really need to get the hell out and don't look at possessions, because it means nothing. When you're upset in your mind and you're upset, it doesn't mean jack shit. A simple life's what you want. You know, find somewhere quiet, whatever it takes, guys, whatever it takes. Screw the money, if you're on a big house, loads of bedrooms, you can manage with one. You can manage with a small kitchen, right? You can, but if it's quiet, you can build from that, you know? Trust me. Best thing I ever did was downgrade to a quiet area. I had a bigger house in a noisy area, smaller house, quiet area, and never go into the second option. So that's the end goal for all you guys. That's what we're going to be aiming for, right? So what we've got to do in the meantime is try and get you on a, you know, an even keel, stop you from going absolutely bananas and insane. The first thing is, don't zone in it. If you've got some headphones, use them. Use the tools that you've got to try and deflect the noise from you, okay? And turn it down in your mind. We've talked about that. Remember, and start, when you're out and about, don't think about or fearing what you're going to come back to the noise, right? Okay, you know, you have every right to be there. They're the ones in the wrong, we know that. Just come back, literally shut the door, and that's it. Once you're in that house, do what you have to do. But in the next short term, think about where you're going to go, because where you're living now, it ain't going to change. In fact, it's probably going to get worse. People are arrogant, they're self-centered, you know, so you need to be thinking about that. But for now, just close the doors, put the headphones on, even if you have to get secondary glazing in, as an absolute thing. And then look at where you are as a temporary situation. Don't imagine for 1 minute that this is it, because it isn't. I was there and I thought enough was enough, and I thought, right, I'm going. You know, I had the strength just to pull myself out, and I went, and that was the best thing I did. And we're going to get you through this, all right? I'm going to be going over some notes and stuff. I value any comments that you've got, anything you want me to look at, and I will certainly go into that. I'll go through my notes I've got, what I've been through, and I'll comment straight back, guys. All right, have a peaceful day and night, and I'll be back soon doing loads of videos of this, and we're going to get through this together, and we're going to get through it and out to the next level. Okay, see you soon. Remember, anxiety is a temporary thing. It's not going to be with you forever. I'll leave you with a zooming of the nice fields.